Good afternoon. My name is Joseph Wong, Sergeant, 1st Marine Division. I fought in Korea in 1952 and 53. I served 14 months there with the 1st Marine Division. I landed in Incheon and I was put on the bus or put on the trucks to go up north to the 38th parallel to relieve the Marines that were on the front line then. I drove past Seoul and the city was completely burned out. Not only standing I could see was 2 of the gates, the North Moon Gate and the South Gate. The rest of the buildings were all on fire and black. When I arrived in the front line, I saw so much pain and wounded Marines. It was very frightening. I was only 19 years old, and it was scary to see people with wounds like missing arms and legs. But after a while, you get used to it and you accept it that if God is watching you, you will go home safely, and whatever happens, happens. So I spent some very, very cold winters there. In my life in America, I never experienced weather that cold before. When it gets to be 30 degrees below zero, by the time you have a cup of water and you throw it into the air, before it touches the ground, it is frozen. It is no longer a liquid. That's how cold it is. I saw many South Korean farmers that still living in the hills raising rice fields that are next to our battle lines. And I feel very sorry for them because they have no warm clothing and they have no wood to start a fire for to heat their family's house. So we, as Marines, we have extra food that we don't eat. I hurry up and always give it to the farmers' children. They're very happy to eat some of the food that us Marines don't like, because we are spoiled. If it's baked beans, we're not used to eat it, we don't eat it. And so rather than throw it away, I would go and collect it from all my fellow Marines and give it to the Korean families that were there. I am an American-born Chinese. My father came from China, but Korea was the same as my father's country. We lived in the village in China, same. We have rice fields, the same. So, Korea people are the same as me. There's no differ. Our language may be different, but our lives and our way of life is the same. We are all brothers. And so I'm happy that after the war ended in 1953, God allowed me to come home. And I appreciate living through this. And I will always give thanks to the Korean government for allowing me to return to Korea and to see the success. I always consider defending Korea the same as if it was my own country. So I am happy to be here today and to celebrate the 76th anniversary of the start of the war. June 25th will always be in my memory. It would just be like my birthday, because that was the day that I was a young 17-year-old and I knew I was going to go to join the Marine Corps and help keep Korea free. That's all I have to say today. Thank you very much for listening to me. cut.
Yeah. Welcome. 환영합니다. 간단히 한두 마디만 하고 내려가겠습니다. I just say two things or highlight two things. Good morning and welcome. We are here to commemorate the 76th anniversary of the outbreak of the Korean War at the Korean War Memorial, which bears every names of all U.S. fallen heroes during the Korean War. Two things I want to highlight as my welcoming remarks. Number one, we Koreans commemorate this day, June 25, when the war broke out, instead of July 27, when the armistice agreement was signed. Why? The answer is our firm resolution not to forget the horror and tragedy the war brought about to our people. This day reminds us of how our nation was attacked and how our nation and the values we hold dear, freedom and democracy, were protected with the assistance of the United Nations forces, including the United States. By commemorating this day, we Koreans have to always remember the sacrifices of fallen heroes, the assistance of our friends, including the United States, Belgium, Thailand, and New Zealand, which consuls general are together with us today. And number three, the importance of an ironclad defense position based on our alliance. Number two, we are also commemorating this day to honor our Korean War veterans with our utmost respect. Thanks to their sacrifices and services, Korea today is firmly founded, with its economy prosperous and its democracy resilient. Joining us here today, we have several Korean and American Korean War veterans. Would you please stand up for a moment to be recognized?
Welcome.
Please give them a big round of applause. Please sit down. I also offer my sincere condolences to the families of the 36,000 fallen heroes whose names are etched here at the memorial. Sadly, with each year passing, it becomes more difficult for many Korean War veterans to stand together with us to commemorate their services and sacrifices and bravery. This really reminds us of our solemn duty to pass down the stories of Korean War veterans' courage and sacrifices to future generations. To the children and grandchildren of our heroes who are receiving these honors today, your fathers and grandfathers are the reasons millions of Korean people live in liberty today. You carry the blood of true heroes, and you are a living bridge, connecting past sacrifices to future promises. With that said, again, on behalf of my country and my people, I extend my deepest respect and gratitude to all Korean War veterans, their families, and the descendants here with us today. Thank you very much, and God bless you.
Thank you, Council General. 여러분 다들 아시다시피 44단은 한국전쟁 당시 주요 전투에 참여했을 뿐 아니라 가평 고등학교를 건립하는 등 우리 대한민국의 미래를 위해 많은 기여를 한 부대입니다. 44단을 대표하여 후안모라 미 육군 44단 참모장님의 기념사가 있겠습니다. As you all know, the 40th Infantry Division not only participated in major battles during the Korean War, but also contributed greatly to the future of our nation by establishing Gapyeong High School. Representing the 40th Infantry Division, we will hear a commemorative speech from Chief of Staff Colonel Juan Mora. Please welcome Colonel Juan Mora.
Thank you very much. General Counsel, very inspiring words. Appreciate everything, your recognition that you bring about today, this morning. And really want to say that this is my third time that I have to be part of this event. I'm honored to be invited to be part of this. Today I bring my daughter, Mia Mora, who is a fan of Korea and everything that it stands for. So I think what a better way to really bring her, embrace her, what Korea stands for, and the significance of the relationship between the United States and Korea hold throughout the years. So, well, good morning. And on behalf of the soldiers of the 40th Infantry Division and our commander, Major General William J. Pendergrass IV, it's an honor to join you today to commemorate the 76th anniversary of the outbreak of the Korean War and honor our Korean War veterans. 76 years ago, Americans answered the call to defend and provide to continue to have the freedom for Korea. Alongside with the people of the Republic of Korea, they endured tremendous sacrifices and hardships to preserve the liberty and secure the future of peace and prosperity. The 40th Infantry Division is proud of the Korean War legacy that it holds. Our soldiers serve on the front lines to help secure the peace that followed. Their courage and commitment continue to inspire soldiers who wear the sunburst patch today. The Korean War veterans, families, and friends from the Republic of Korea, we thank you. Your service, sacrifice, and enduring friendship remains a powerful example for future generations. We remember and we honor and we'll never forget. And for everything that we stand on our relationship, we thank you. God bless America. God bless the United States.
Thank you, Colonel. 다음으로 여러분께서 보시다시피 오늘 참전용사님들을 포함해서 LA와 OC를 대표하여 여러 향군단체 회원분들이 참석하셨습니다. 시간 관계상 LA를 대표하여 6.25 참전유공자회 미 서부지회 회장님, OC를 대표하여 제한군인회 미 남서부지회 회장님의 기념사를 듣겠습니다. 먼저 이재학 6.25 참전유공자회 회장님의 기념사가 있겠습니다. As you can see, we have many members from various veterans organizations representing LA and OC today. Due to time constraints, we'll hear some commemorative speeches from two representatives. First, please welcome Jae-hak Lee, President of the Korean War Veterans Associations in the Western region.
Good morning. My name is Jae Lee, retired Korean Army captain and President of Korean War Veterans Association, Western region of USA. I'd like to say in a few words in Korean. Okay? 안녕하십니까? 나는 대한민국 예비역 육군대위이며 6.25 참전 국가유공자회 회장 이재학입니다. 76년 전 고요한 아침의 나라 우리 대한민국의 북한 공산군의 남침으로 국토는 폐허가 되었고 수많은 젊은이들이 자유를 지키기 위해 목숨을 걸고 전장으로 나아 싸웠습니다. 그때 우리는 혼자가 아닌 미국을 비롯한 유엔군은 우리와 함께 자유와 평화를 위해 싸워주었습니다. 그들의 희생과 헌신이 있었기에 우리는 자유민주주의를 지켜낼 수 있었고 오늘의 대한민국을 이룰 수 있었습니다. 저는 어린 학도병으로서 책 대신 총을 들었고 육군 제1서단 수색대에 종군하여 한강을 건너 인천에 상륙한 한미 해병대와 함께 서울을 탈환 작전에 참여했습니다. 중공군의 개입으로 저 악명 높은 백마고치와 피해 능선, 도솔산 전투 등 수많은 보화 속에서 쓰러져간 젊은 용사의 피가 마르지 않았습니다. 그리고 북한 땅 깊이 장진호에서 끝까지 싸운 미 해병대의 숭고한 희생도 결코 잊을 수 없습니다. 이름도 알지 못하는 수많은 미국의 젊은이들과 대한민국의 젊은 용사들이 자유를 위해 자신의 청춘과 생명을 바친 그들의 희생 위에 오늘의 자유 대한민국이 세워졌습니다. 저는 오늘 이곳에서 36,000여 명의 미군 전사자 이름이 새겨진 거대한 기념탑을 바라보며 깊은 감동을 받았습니다. 바라옵기는 18만 4천여 명의 젊은 한국군 전사자들의 영혼을 기리는 추원비도 이곳 동포 사회 곁에 세워져 후손들이 자유가 얼마나 값비싼 희생으로 이루어졌는가를 기억하게 되기를 바라는 마음 간절합니다. 우리가 누리는 자유는 결코 공짜가 아닙니다. 젊은 피와 눈물 그리고 숭고한 희생으로 지켜낸 값비싼 선물입니다. 우리는 자유를 기억합니다. 우리는 그 자유를 감사해야 합니다. 그리고 우리는 그 자유를 후손들에게 온전히 물려주어야 합니다. Distinguished veterans, honored guests, ladies and gentlemen. 76 years ago, a terrible war began in the land of morning calm, Korea. The invasion from North Korean Communist forces destroyed our country. Cities were burned, families were separated, and many young people stood up to defend freedom. But the Republic of Korea was not alone. The United States and the United Nations stood with us. Together, we fought for freedom and peace. Because of their courage and sacrifice, Korea was able to protect democracy and again from the ashes. As a young student soldier, I joined the Korean Army 1st Infantry Division Reconnaissance Unit. I crossed the Han River and fought alongside the American and Korean Marines who landed at Incheon to help recapture Seoul. I witnessed the honors of war. At the front line, the brave soldiers who fell at White Horse Hill, Bloody Ridge, and Tulsa Mountain battles. We also remember the noble sacrifice of United States Marines who fought through the freezing battle of Chosun Reservoir. Many of those young men never returned home. Some Americans, some Koreans, most of them never knew each other before the war. But they shared one dream, freedom. Because they sacrificed their youth and their lives, the Republic of Korea today has become a nation of freedom, peace, and prosperity. Today, as I stand before this memorial honoring more than 36,000 American heroes who gave their lives for Korea, I have one heartfelt wish. I hope that one day a small memorial will also stand here to honor the 184,000 young Korean soldiers who died defending our nation. Freedom is never free. It was purchased with courage, tears, and sacrifice. We must remember it, we must cherish it, and we must pass it on to future generations. May God bless America, the Republic of Korea, and our everlasting alliance. Thank you. We go together.
감사합니다. 다음은 박병정 제한군인회 미 남서부지회 회장님이 기념사가 있겠습니다. Next, please welcome the President of the Korean American Veterans Association in OC, Sim Park.
존경하는 국가유공자와 이 자리에 참석해 주신 대의 여러분, 오늘 우리는 대한민국의 자유와 평화를 위해 목숨을 바치신 후국 영령들의 고귀한 희생을 기리기 위해 이 자리에 모였습니다. 76년 전 대한민국은 포성과 비극으로 가득 찬 아픔의 현장이었습니다. 절체절명의 위기 속에서도 대한민국을 지키겠다는 일념으로 부하 속으로 뛰어든 영웅맨니들이 계셨기에 오늘날 우리가 누리는 자유와 번영이 존재할 수 있었습니다. 6.25 전쟁이 나라가 폐허가 되었습니다. 그러나 우리 국민은 다시 일어났습니다. 외국의 원조로 허기를 면하던 나라가 세계 10위권의 강제국이 되었으며 자유민주주의 국가로 발전하였습니다. 이러한 성공의 바탕에는 맨몸으로 조국을 수호한 참전용사들의 불길의 용기와 희생이 있었습니다. 이곳에 잠들어 계신 참전 유공자들께 다시 한번 고개 숙여 경의를 표합니다. 이 자리에 참석하신 여러분의 후손에게도 오늘의 기념식을 이어나갈 수 있도록 여러분이 힘써 주시기를 간곡히 부탁드립니다. 감사합니다.
감사합니다. 오늘 기념식을 위해 많은 내빈 여러분들이 참석해 주셨습니다. 다음은 참석해 주신 내빈 여러분들이 격려사를 듣도록 하겠습니다. 격려사가 많은 관계로 짧게 부탁드리겠습니다. We have many distinguished guests present today, and at this time, we would like to invite them to the stage to hear their words of encouragement. Due to time constraints, we kindly ask that all speakers keep their remarks brief. 먼저 한국전 참전용사이신 조셉 웡님의 격려사가 있겠습니다. Firstly, we will hear from the Honorable Korean War veteran. Please welcome Mr. Joseph Wong to the stage.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I'm honored to be here again. I just want to say a few words to give you an example of my time in Korea. On this day, 76 years ago, I was a 17-year-old high school student. When the information of the war started, my first thought was I wanted to join the military and go to fight in Korea. At 17 years old, my parents would not sign the paperwork for me to join. So I waited until I was 19 years old, 1952. I joined the Marine Corps, anxious to go to Korea. Excuse me if I forget to say some things because at 94, my memory is not as good as before. So I forgot to say that I'm Joseph Wong, Sergeant, United States Marine Corps. I served with Chesty Puller's outfit, 17, 1st Marine Division. I was honored to be there. And I didn't have any paperwork. I'm only speaking from my heart. So if I deviate a little bit, please forgive me. Back to my 19-year-old. I joined the Marine Corps. And after boot camp at Camp Pendleton and advanced military training, I boarded a ship in San Diego. And it was a 30-day long boat ride to get to Incheon. Arriving at Incheon, at 19 years old and getting aboard the trucks to drive up to the DMV, Seoul was all blackened and the buildings were down. It's very similar to what you saw in the newspapers for Altadena and all the current fires. That's how it looked. It was very shocking for me to see that. To see Seoul, a big city, leveled like that. The truck ride probably took 2 hours to get up to the 38th parallel. Seeing all the destruction was very frightening to a 19-year-old boy that has never seen anything like this before. At 10 years old, I remember seeing pictures of the Second World War, and this was even worse. At that time, I wondered to myself, this is not a game. This is not like the John Wayne movies. It's very frightening. On my truck ride going up north to the DMV, other trucks were coming back down with wounded soldiers and Marines. That's what at first struck me, that I may be on one of those trucks next. And I wondered, is it all worthwhile for me to be here? Well, after the armistice was signed, I returned back to Korea and saw the city of Seoul and how great South Korea had become. And at that time, it came to my realization that it was all worthwhile. I'm so happy to see the success of a country that had nothing 76 years ago. That's something that not other nations can really say. From nothing to be the sixth economical nation in the world today. I was so proud. If any of you are parents and you have children, you know how proud you feel when your child has graduated and accomplished. Well, I felt that in my heart to see Korea prosper. It felt like a parent, and it was all worthwhile, and I was gratified to see that. So that's my experience in Korea. I was there from the winters of 52 until another winter of 53. You have not known cold weather until you have experienced a winter in Korea. Something I learned and never expected was that my rifle would freeze during the winter because it had a light coating of oil on it. I never knew that oil froze, but we were lucky to find out before we went to battle that we have to boil the rifles in hot water to remove all the oil, and it was a dry weapon. Of course, the weapon doesn't last that long because it's metal rubbing on metal, but it was better than not firing at all. So I want to thank you for inviting me, and I'm proud to be here. And I see all of your smiling faces. I'm really gratified and thankful to be here because I think God allowed me to come home so I could spread the word and tell everybody just how Korea was and how important it is that now you sleep safely at night with the freedoms, and we're not all speaking communist dialect of Chinese and North Korean language. Thank you so much. 감사합니다.
Thank you. 내빈 여러분, 한국전쟁 당시 우리를 돕기 위해 전투부대를 파견한 16개 국가가 있습니다. 그중 오늘 이 자리에 톨 사라 람브라 태국 총영사님과 소피 파비엔 오타 벨기에 총영사님, 카차 엘리자베스 에클리 뉴질랜드 총영사님이 참석하셨습니다. Ladies and gentlemen, throughout the war, 16 countries dispatched their troops to Korea. Among them, Tor Saul Lambra, the Consul General of the Royal Thai, and Sophie Fabienne Otta, the Consul General of Belgium, and Katja Elizabeth Eckley, the Consul General of New Zealand, are here with us today. 태국은 당시 6,300명을 파견하였으며 홉차필 전투 등에서 전공을 거두었습니다. 벨기에는 한국전쟁 기간 동안 3,500명을 파견하였고 임진강 전투 등 많은 전투에 참전하였습니다. 또한 뉴질랜드는 3,800명의 병력을 파견하였고 가평 전투 등에서 치열한 전투를 치렀습니다. Royal Thai sent 6,300 soldiers who played a significant role in defeating communist forces in numerous battles like the Battle of Porchap Hill. Belgium dispatched 3,500 soldiers to Korea and fought fiercely in numerous battles like Imjin River. New Zealand sent 3,800 soldiers who played a significant role in numerous battles like Gapyeong Battle. UN참전국 외교단으로 참석해주신 세 분의 통용사님 격려사를 모두 듣고 싶지만 올해는 특별히 한국 벨기에 수교 125주년을 맞이하는 해로서 외교단 대표로 소피 파비엔 오타 벨기에 통용사님을 모시겠습니다. Next, we are honored to have three consuls general with us today. While we would love to hear remarks from each of them, this year marks the special 125th anniversary of diplomatic relations between Korea and Belgium. With the kind understanding of our other distinguished guests, we welcome the Honorable Consul General of Belgium, Sophie Fabienne Otta.
Thank you. Thank you indeed. And it's an honor for me to represent Belgium and through me the international community who in 1950 answered the UN call to come and to defend and help restore freedom and peace in Korea. Like it was said, over 3,000 Belgians volunteered to join that international force to fight during the war. After a long and difficult journey by sea from Antwerp, the first contingent of Belgian volunteers disembarked in Busan on January 30th in 1951, ready to serve under the United Nations commands in defense of a country many of them didn't know. They had left their home country, which had been occupied and partially destroyed during the Second World War. Belgians knew too well that wars cannot be won alone, that you need allies to restore peace, freedom, and rule of law. The arrival of the Belgian boat marked not only the beginning of Belgium's military presence in Korea, but also the beginning of shared sacrifice. These volunteers went on to fight in some of the most difficult engagements of the war, from the Imjin River to Hak Tang Ni, carrying Belgium and UN values with them in the direst of conditions. More than 100 Belgians never returned home, and all of those who did were irreversibly affected. Standing here today means a lot to me and to my country. It is an opportunity to remember, thank you so much, an opportunity to remember not only the military achievements of the volunteers, but the humanity, the bonds they formed, their hopes for peace, and their profound respect for the Korean people. Along 16 other countries, and I'd like indeed to thank my colleagues that are here today, Belgium is still a member of the United Nations Command and the US Command, and twice per year we still send Belgian militaries to take part in joint exercises. As we commemorate this legacy today, we're also reminded that the defense of peace and sovereignty is not a challenge of the past alone. This is the stark reminder that the principles for which our veterans fought remain under threat in our own time. Their example calls on us to stand firm in defending freedom, international law, and the right of all nations to live in security. To those who serve, we remember you, we honor you, and we thank you.
Dear Consul General. 다음은 작년 사도의 메달 수상자이신 LA 시의회 10지구 시의원 헤더 헛 님의 격려사가 있겠습니다. Next, please welcome LA City Council member for District 10, Heather Hutt, recipient of last year's KISS medal, to the stage.
Good morning, and thank you so much. My name is Heather Hutt, and I serve as a councilwoman for the City of Los Angeles in the 10th District, one that I'm very proud to say encompasses Koreatown. Last year, at the 75th anniversary, I had the profound privilege of accepting an award on behalf of my father, Corporal Donald Hugh Hutt, who served in the United States Army during one of the most pivotal moments in our nation's history. That moment last year moved me to tears, and I carry it with me today. My father was a man shaped by his service. The values he developed in uniform were the same values he brought home and instilled in my siblings, Ingrid, James, and even me. He taught us that a nation cannot truly prosper unless all of us and its people have liberty and freedom. Those words have guided me every day as a councilwoman for the 10th District of Los Angeles. Today, as we gather for the 76th time to honor the chapter history, I'm reminded that remembrance is worth nothing if we do nothing for its future. We must tell these stories. We must speak these names. We must ensure that the next generation knows the sacrifices that were made on the Korean Peninsula so that freedom could survive. I want to thank our veterans really for the sacrifices that we made. To hear from a 94-year-old veteran is a blessing. The story that you told of your experience is a blessing to all of us so that we remember how difficult it was to achieve this freedom and how we must honor our veterans then and now. Even today on my team, I have a veteran from the Marines that served in Afghanistan, and we have to really make sure that we honor that service. The Korean War is something called the Forgotten War, but it must never, never be forgotten. Not in our state, not by this generation, and not by the generations after us. To the veterans of the Korean War that are present today, and to those who cannot be with us, your bravery and service will be remembered always. You are and will forever be our heroes. On behalf of the City of Los Angeles and the 10th District, thank you for having me, and thank you to the Consul General, my good friend, Consul General Kim, from the Republic of Korea, for continuing to ensure that these stories are told here and are never forgotten. And for the Korean youth that I see in the back, please keep your culture. I know that you're growing up in Los Angeles, but it's important to tell the stories of this freedom. It's important to keep your culture and keep your language. Don't get homogenized while you're in the mix. Keep it, because I want to remind you, I don't have a language. I don't have a culture. And that should not be. Do not be ashamed of your history. Keep your history, keep your culture, tell your stories, and love your ancestors. Thank you.
Thank you. 이어서 오늘 행사가 열리는 이곳 플러튼시의 시장이신 Fred 정님을 모시겠습니다. Next, I would like to introduce the mayor of Fulton, Fred Jong.
여러분 반갑습니다. I usually never say 5 words in public, and perhaps I'm mourning the loss of the Korean team in the World Cup yesterday. but I need to do some cathartic speaking, so forgive me if I run a little long. Good morning, everyone. Good morning to our veterans, our beloved Consul Generals, my dear friend, 4th District Supervisor Doug Chafee, and the Honorable Heather Hutt, who I see occasionally, and it brings great joy to my heart when she speaks about your culture. Honorable, I do disagree on one sense. I listen to John Coltrane weekly, and it reminds me of certainly the struggle. Today we gather here, everyone, at the Korean War Memorial in the city of Fullerton to remember the soldiers whose courage and sacrifice forever changed the lives of the Korean people. I stand before you as a testament of their sacrifice. I could make a cohesive argument in a court of law that I would not be here standing before you as a Korean American mayor of an American city in Orange County were it not for the sacrifices of these soldiers. It has been more than 70 years that these young men were called to defend the freedom on the Korean Peninsula. They fought in the before spoken bitter winters on rugged mountains and in unimaginable conditions. Many never returned home, and we honor them here with this memorial. Still others came home carrying wounds, both seen and unseen. Today we honor all of them. We honor the Korean soldiers who fought to preserve their nation and protect their families from tyranny. We honor the American and UN service men and women who crossed an ocean to defend the Korean people, believing that freedom is worth defending at all costs. But as a son of a mother who is now was born in what's considered North Korea, grandson to a grandfather trapped in North Korea that I've never seen, I want to remind you all that Korea remains divided. And while the hope of reunification remains, it is a distant dream. The lessons of the Korean War remind us that peace is all too precious. And the veterans of the Korean War are now among the oldest in our communities. Every year, their numbers grow smaller. Every year, more of their voices fall silent. And every year, more of their stories are lost forever. These men stormed hillsides under enemy fire, endured freezing winters, and stood watching alongside dangerous front lines. They are leaving us. So I encourage you all, before they disappear and all their first-hand memories are gone, to honor them by remembering them, by asking them, by allowing them to tell their stories. Joseph Wong, I can't imagine being 17 and wanting to volunteer to go to war. And you're in your 90s now, and you remember that war like it was yesterday. And you forgot to introduce your name. And I gotta tell you, that is the significance of your memory, your time, and my beloved and ever fast appreciation for not only your sacrifice, but all of those who served. Today is a special day for me. Albert Terry Lazar's family is here. His widow reminded me today that he was awarded the Bronze Star, and he never talked about why. And the reason why this story is important is they didn't care. It wasn't important for them to brag about these memories because they were horrifying, and they kept it within their hearts. And they died with those memories. And if we can ever remember their sacrifice, is not to bring those out, but understand the horrors of war and what we have a responsibility to prevent at all times. There is a value to peace. There is a cost to freedom. And these soldiers paid that dearly with their lives, not only there when they fell, but here as well. God bless America. God bless my motherland. God bless all of you.
Thank you. 다음은 참전기념비위원회 박윤숙 회장님의 격려사가 있겠습니다. Next, please welcome Yoon-suk Park, the president of Orange County Korean War Memorial Committee, into the stage.
네, 안녕하십니까. 알겠습니다. My name is Howard Park, I'm the Orange Korean War Memorial Committee president. 오늘 저희가 우리 위원님들과 같이 참석해서 참 큰 일을 한다고 생각을 합니다. 그 첫 번째는요, 최초로 우리 한국전에 참전하신 한국 군인분들의 그 노고에 감사드리면서 저희가 지원금을 후원할 수 있다는 거 대단히 무한한 영광으로 생각하고 있고요. 두 번째는 그 후손들한테 저희가 장학금을 지급할 수 있다는 것에 대해서는 더더욱이 영광스럽게 생각합니다. 그래서 오늘은 잠시 후에 우리 위원님들 다 소개를 드리고요. 그 후에 우리가 하고 싶었던 얘기 다시 말씀을 나누도록 하겠습니다. 참석해 주신 여러분께 대단히 감사합니다. 감사합니다.
감사합니다. 다음은 한국전에 참전하신 참전용사분들의 희생과 헌신에 감사하는 의미에서 평화의 사도 메달을 전수하도록 하겠습니다. Thank you. Now, in gratitude for the sacrifices and dedication of the veterans who participated in the Korean War, we'll award the Ambassador for Peace Medal. 참전용사 존 버스님, 그리고 그리고 작고하신 참전용사 알버트 체리 라서님을 대신하여 부인이신 윌마 라서님. 님을 대신하여 사촌이신 체리 키블러 산체스님. 이어서 평화의 사도 메달을 받으신 존 버스님, 윌마 라자님, 체리 키블러 산체스님의 수상 소감을 듣도록 하겠습니다. We are now ready for the acceptance speech from them. First, Mr. John Voss. Please say a few words for us.
Over a year in Korea, I had a good job. I was a very lowly soldier, a private first class. I had no clout, but I did my job. I got sick to my body, and I was held back in my training in the hospital. So when I got out of the hospital, I went to the orderly room and says, "Where do I go?" And he says, "When you go over there to this room, and you'll be going to a cook school." Now, I was a farmer. I know how to drive a tractor, like to drive a truck. I could plow weeds, but I didn't know how to make a can of soup. So I went 8 weeks to cook school. Most boring time I ever had in my life. You put in 2 quarts of milk and 1 gallon of water or whatever. I don't know I don't remember what we had to do. But I went to school, went to cook school, then come time to go overseas. I went overseas, and the first morning that I got there after sailing on the ship and then flying in the airplane from Japan to Vietnam, I got to my company. The next morning we had formation. Got our formation. The sergeant said, "Welcome, new men. Glad to see you here. Who's this fellow corporal that's called John Voss?" "Here, sir." "Well, we don't need cooks. We need duck drivers." How many people know what a duck is in the military? It's a 6-wheel, 2.5-ton truck with a shell on it that would float. So I was in the transportation outfit. We went to the Incheon. We went to the Bay of Incheon to pick up a load of ammunition and go to the railroad and put them on the train. Do that it'd take about a week to 10 days to unload a ship because we only had 25 ducks to do ammunition. So we would hold 3 cargo nets in a load and 3 500-pound bombs. And they went to this one. And we always had 2 boys, young men, Korean boys, civilians, that helped us in the load to put the ship, to keep the duck balanced as we go. Sometimes we had water that was rough, sometimes it was smooth. One time we had kind of rough water, and I was the guard duty up on top of the hill to take care of, watch all the ducks, keep track where they're at. And pretty soon there goes one over there, what's better than him? No propeller splash. So I was under duty and I hit the water as fast as I could, broke a couple of rules to get that duck tied up onto him, started pulling them in. The current was so strong, I didn't just sit there and stayed there, and I held him from going into the tent. Took 2 of us ducks to get that one duck in, but we did it, got him on shore. And so that's what we did what we were told. And then a little time later, the first cook of the company transferred home. So they called me in the office and said, "Corporal, we want to make you, Mr. Voss, we want to make you corporal." He says, "I'll take it. But now you have to be first cook for all one company." Now, I knew the difference between carrots and cabbage and melons and tomatoes because that's what I did before I went in the army. But to cook them for men to eat, I don't know. But I did it. Did it with the best of my ability. And nobody died from my food. So, finally the time come when was me to get released because I was drafted. I was only in for 2 years. And I'm sorry to bother you so long, but finally the people from the headquarters came down in the chow line, and I was feeding the military as he went through. And he came down and, "Hey, Voss, what? You're going home in 2 days." I threw up the spoon, took off my apron, and gave my spoon to the sergeant. I said, "Sergeant, I'm going home." Oh, so I went home, and that's my military story. But I'm proud I did it. Yeah. I was the only one in my family that was in the military, and I think of it oft times where I could have been, I could have done. But I'm going to tell you something. God took care of me. There's a God in heaven that takes care of each one of us. And he must have liked me a whole lot because I was very safe. I felt good. I have a woman over there that when I came home from furlough before going overseas, I said, "You want to get married?" Yeah. So we got married 10 days, and I went overseas and came home, and she's still with me today.
Yeah.
So that's my story, but I served in the military. I did not volunteer. I was told and drafted, and so, but I did the best I could to what I had to work with, and that's all they can ask. So thank you for listening to me, and glad to be here.
Thank you. Next, Omar Lazar, please say a few words.
I always liked the story out in they tested him. He was in the Air Force, and they tested you to see where you were going to be. I was watching him one day on the TV, and I said, "Oh, look, it's MASH. Have you ever been to a MASH?" And he said, "Well, we went to a MASH when they were out of penicillin, and it came on the plane, and I drove in to the MASH in the Jeep." I said, "Was it that dangerous? Did they shoot at you?" He says, "Oh, yeah, but they didn't hit us." The other memory that I have so much is seeing him in the movies. Adlai Stevenson was running for president, and it showed him coming out of the plane to greet the troops. And in the background, it was Al checking everything off the plane. So I saw him in the movies, and he stood up and said, "Stop!" And they stopped and then had the bench for him. He was in a plane called the Globemaster, bringing in a bunch of stuff, and the engine caught on fire. So the pilot said, "Throw out everything," and afterwards he said to the guys that were in there, "They'll have to jump." So they always jump. Al had never had training in jumping. So he walked up to the pilot and he said, "Are you going to jump?" He said, "I'm going to try to bring it in." And then Al said, "I'll be with you." I was glad when he came back. They always told us we were too young to get married. But it lasted 67 years, so I figured it was good.
Thank you. Next, Sherry Killer Sanchez, please say a few words for us.
I wasn't expecting to speak today, but I am here representing my cousin, Donald Eugene Dahlstrom, who was in the Korean War. And so, while it was, again, he was a medic, and his work was difficult, but he said there was also joy in the relationships that he made with people in Korea, with his buddies who were friends till the end of his life. And he had such incredible respect for Korea and for the Koreans that he knew. He talked about little children coming into where the barracks were. And he said they were so sweet and so adorable and so grateful. And so it is such an honor for him. And I want to share something else with you. In 2010, I was chosen to be sort of a representative for my country and my work through Global Cooperation International. And I spent 10 days in Korea. And it's one of the highlights of my life.
So I'm very grateful for this honor for my cousin. Frankie would have been 30. 감사합니다.
Thank you. It's time to take a family photo. Family members of those veterans, please come forward. Come forward out. Sorry. Sorry, we'll just skip the part and proceed. 다음은 한국전 참전용사와 참전용사 후손들에 대한 후원금 및 장학금을 지급하겠습니다. Next, we'll present scholarships to Korean War veterans and their descendants. 먼저 호명되는 참전용사님들 앞으로 나와주시기 바랍니다. First, we kindly ask Korean War veterans to come forward to the stage as his name is called. 변승석님, 김형서님, 최병길님, 엄진석님, 권영구님, 최창준님, 이재학님, 하순직님, 노재윤님, 홍석관님, 이영호님, 최광석님, 이종신님, 박종곤님, 이승혜님.
저기 지원금 좀 가져와 주세요.
시상은 참전기념비위원회 위원님들이 해주시겠습니다. 노명수님, 강석희님, 안영대님, 대디오님, 토니당님, 이동성님 시상을 위해 앞으로 나와주세요.
На scholarship here. 다른 거.
I want to express my deepest gratitude to all of the Korean War veterans. Your courage, sacrifice, and dedication to protecting freedom have made it possible for future generations, including mine, to pursue our dreams and opportunities. The freedom we enjoy today exists because of your noble sacrifices and courage to serve on behalf of democracy and liberty. I especially want to acknowledge the president of the Korean War Veteran Association, Jae Hak Lee, who is also my grandfather. Growing up, I have watched him dedicate countless hours to preserving the legacy of the Korean War veterans and ensuring their sacrifices are never forgotten. I have seen him lead with resilience, modesty, and an unwavering commitment as president of the Korean War Veterans Association, speaking at many ceremonies like this one to honor those who have served. His passion and dedication have inspired me, and I truly admire the example he has set. His leadership has taught me the importance of service, gratitude, and remembering those who came before us. Once again, thank you for this incredible honor and for your investment in my future. I will always remember the sacrifices made by all Korean War veterans, and I hope to live a life that reflects the values of service, perseverance, and gratitude that you all have demonstrated. Thank you.
Thank you. We are now ready for the acceptance speech from Seung-hae Lee, President of the Korean War Veterans Association in LA. Please say a few words for us.
저는 1951년 한국 오병칠사단의 소대장으로 참전한 6.25 참전용사입니다. 오늘 수상 소감에 있어서 우선 먼저 저 기념비에 젊은 청춘을 자유를 위해서 한국에서 전사하신 36,591명의 전사자이기 때문에 오늘 이 행사를 할 수 있고, 이것이 바로 한미동맹의 상징이요 한미동맹의 진정입니다. 앞서 환영사, 기념사, 경례상 다 하시더니 전 딱 간단히 한마디만 드리겠습니다. 우리가 누리는 자유는 공짜가 아닙니다. Free is not free. 한미 동맹이 영원하라. Forever. American and Korea Alliance. 미국과 한국을 하나님께서 영원히 수고합니다. God bless America. 그리고 여기에 수상하여 주신 기념비 박 회장님 위해서 모든 인분들에게 감사드립니다.
감사합니다. 다음은 기념 공연 순서입니다. 먼저 미 300 군악대가 미군 군가 메들리를 연주하겠습니다. 군단은 Coast Guard, Space Force, Air Force, Navy, 그리고 Marine Corps and Army 순서로 연주되며 각 군가에 맞춰 참전 용사님들께서는 일어나 주시고 내빈 여러분께서는 존경의 박수를 부탁드립니다. Next, we have two commemorative performances by U.S. 300th Army Band. The 300th Army Band is performing United States Armed Forces medley. The songs will be played in the following order: the Coast Guard, Space Force, Air Force, Navy, Marine Corps, and Army. We kindly ask veterans of each branch to stand when your anthem plays, and we invite all other guests to please join us in applause. Please welcome 300th Army Band. 감사합니다. 300분학생 다시 한번 큰 박수 부탁드리겠습니다. Please give a big round of applause to the 300th Army Band for their wonderful performance. 이어서 아리랑 합창단이 6.25 노래 그런 나라가 되게 하소서를 합창해 주시겠습니다. 아시는 분은 같이 불러주시면 감사하겠습니다. And please welcome Arirang Women's Choral for singing 6.25 625 Korean War Song and Make Us Such a Nation.
This is my idea. The idol. Good. It's good. 신사가 보여야 되거든요. 정말 이게 있어요. 근데 아스냐 뒤를 좀 네, 그때 먼저 그때는 시작했다. 반대도 아무도 지금 공부는데 나쁜 데는 있어요. 그 저희 아까 Jesus, big good. Oh,
네, 다음은 축도에 앞서 간략히 LA County Board of Supervisors에서 김영원 총영사님을 위해 마련한 감사장을 전달하는 시간을 갖겠습니다. Before the benediction, we'll have a special presentation. The LA County Board of Supervisors prepared an official scroll dedicated to Youngwon Kim, the Consul General of the Republic of Korea in LA. 네, 감사장은 LA 카운티 군인 및 보건 담당 국장이신 제임스 제널 씨가 전달하겠습니다. 네, 다음은 축도 시간입니다. 다시 한번 저 코엔님께서 수고해 주시겠습니다. It is now time for the benediction. We would like to thank Chaplain Doug Cohen for his contributions and welcome him to the stage once more.
Before I give the benediction, I'd like to share something with you. Last night, Pink Lady and I called an old friend. He served in the Korean War. He's about to celebrate his 98th birthday. He was not able, because of his limitations, to come here today. but he wanted me to tell you that it was one of the proudest things he ever did in his life. And he and his brother, some of you may have heard of Bazooka Joe Pietroforte, he's going to be 108. And the two of them still support veterans groups and go to the American Legion for their meetings. And he wanted to send his greetings. His name is Nicholas Pietroforte. I'm chairman of the board of the LA National Cemetery. And a few years ago, I invited Nick to sing the national anthem. And he did it beautifully. He has a wonderful voice till today. And so as he finished, he was about to leave the podium. And I said, wait a minute, where are you going? He said, I finished. I said, you're just starting. And we called up the Consul General of Korea. And he was presented with the President's Peace Medal for his service in Korea from 1950 to 1953. So I just wanted to share that. Nicholas Pietroforte sends his greetings and his love to you for his being able to participate and help preserve the freedom of South Korea, now the Republic of Korea. We have come to this important memorial in peace, brotherhood, and sisterhood, with reverence for those on whose shoulders we all stand, many of whom were veterans who made the ultimate sacrifice serving our two countries. May we each return safely to our homes, and may this day begin the rededication of our continuing to make our world a much better place, a much safer place, in which to raise our families and build a brighter future, caring for each other, for our friends, for our neighbors, loving our lives and inspiring those who travel the journey with us. May God bless you and your families. May God bless the servicemen and women of our two countries, wherever they may be stationed in the globe. And may God bless the United States of America and the Republic of Korea, as we all say, Amen.
Thank you. 마지막으로 기록 촬영을 하겠습니다. 내외빈 여러분께서는
Hello. Hi. Nice to see you again. Nice to meet you again. I am here with the people. And I'm only going to see what.